Hi, I'm Mark Claiborne and welcome to the Lastolite School of Photography. Today we're looking at the Lastolite Tri-Flash Bracket. It's a unique piece of kit that allows me to put three heads together to either increase my output fully, or by decreasing the power from these battery operated guns, I have a greater and faster recycle time between shots. The flash bracket itself can be bought individually or as a part of a kit. But to begin with, the great thing about this, we could attach either 1, 2 or 3 guns. We can use one of the spare hot shoes perhaps to mount a radio trigger on to fire the others. Plus we've also got the benefit of being able to use it with an umbrella, and they're available in 2 different size kits as well. The Tri-Flash kit is in three parts: the stand, the bracket and the brolly. Bracket just actually goes on to the top itself, ready to accept the brolly. Tighten that up to begin with. The brolly is either one of these multiple ones, so I can either use it as a shoot through or as a reflective, and as well as a soft brolly now. Just goes through that little hole, ready to, it helps if I undo it, Mark, little click into there. And then of course we've got the flash gun, so I'll borrow those a minute, Paul, thanks. So it pretty much makes a system redundant, because now we've got 3 battery operated flashes, as I say as he passes me the gun. But we've got 3 battery operated flashes going into an all-in-one umbrella, and this is a quick way then to allow us to have either, as I mentioned before, more power to fight the sun or whatever it would be, or to have a faster recycle time by reducing the amount of power output from all 3 of them, so I get a quicker flash between shots. As I mentioned, the kit comes with the all-in-one umbrella, which gives me the 3 options of either a white bounce light, so where the flash goes in it comes back out. If I take the white off itself, I can just use the silver bounce, and then I'd actually have a more reflective use of the light, so it's got a greater return. Or if I wanted to take the whole thing off, of course, then I would have the shoot through effect, where then we would point it towards the subject to get a greater contrast within the image, and hence more power getting onto the subject. Let's not forget that this Tri-Flash bracket comes with the ability to tilt the head. This allows us to shape the light or give a different direction to the light source to give us better portraits, and is perfect for the wedding and portrait photographer of the day, as well as the photographer who wants to travel light. The flashes are extra, of course, but let's not forget that the stand, the brolly and the bracket all fits into a carry case which can be carried on your shoulder, ready for the job. So we've talked enough about it, let's get on with the shoot. Okay, great, so you've just come over just a little bit more for me a minute. That's cool. And just put that hand onto that thing sticking out the wall. That's excellent. Turning the head round towards here though, yeah? Always on a ball of the foot for me. It's gorgeous there for me again. Keep it. What you're seeing me use here is flash for effect. I'm in quite a diffused light source, which means I don't need the power, because otherwise it's going to look very dark and muddy and so on. We're not looking for that. Here we're trying to use some of the ambient light in the scene. The ambient light is a 60th at 4, and we've set the flashes to fire at 1.5 stops more, which just happens to be 128th of the power. So this is the benefit of having the Tri-Flash now, is because we're having a much quicker recycle time. And if you're a photographer that relies a lot on portable flash without any extra batteries going in, just the normal AAs or whatever you have, then you're always going to have to wait for that recycle time the whole time. And that's what this is designed for. If you're in a soft light and you want to use flash, you don't want to overcook the image, because that's just going to look terrible. So we've got a lovely direction of the light. I'm using some of this kind of strength of the pose and the creative background that we've got running here and things really. But the main thing is that we want to increase the power for effect and not to just black everything out. I'm firing the Tri-Flashes from the master on the camera itself. This is just a 580EX2, and this is set as the master. Each one of these 3 slave units, these 3 flashes that are on here, are basically all set as the slaves. Why? Because we want these to fire those. If I'm working in strong sunlight, however, I'm going to struggle with the built-in kind of the radio trigger in here, because this is not radio at all. This is an infrared style, and if it sees any light going onto it, it's going to struggle to fire. But this is a perfect environment how we can use flash creatively. I'm using the multi-umbrella with just the white bounce. Why? Because I want a softness to the light. If I want to create and enhance that drama even more, we can change the whole look by just removing the outer layer. But let's not forget that shape of the tilt here. If we just look at the photograph for a minute, you can see that the position of Rachel, the model, is pretty much actually over to my right-hand side. The flash is over to the left. I don't want her to ever look away from the flash. Why? Because the face would go black or dark, and that's going to just ruin the image. So we always need to make sure that the face is going to just tilt a little bit or look off towards that light source just a fraction. Why? Because then we've got life in the eyes, and life in the eyes is a great photograph. So with a static image like we have here, with the flashes in one place on a stand, it means I, as the photographer, can move around to change the look with very little work at all. Straighten me again, please, Rachel. That's cool, just there. Okay, so we've seen the effect of those portraits with the all-in-one umbrella using the white bounce. That is the shoot through as well as the silver on here. The quickest way now to move in the style of photograph with this kit is to change from the white bounce straight into the shoot through effect. Keep it. Just look at the image. Wow, what a difference. Happier. It's lovely. So even though this film is really about the Tri-Flash, it's as much to do with the kit, because when you're using all these the combinations, you're going to get different effects. As we're seeing here, this is a shoot-through umbrella, and that's how I'll always refer to it. But it does have the facility to bounce some of the light, but most of the power is going to be diffused through it. To get the true use of a shoot-through umbrella, what we're now going to do is turn it around towards the model, and now we just tilt this in the bracket towards her, making sure we've got the right distance again. This now needs to come back away from her. Why? Otherwise it's going to be very strong, and that's not what we want flash to do the majority of the time, unless it's for effect, of course. So we can see the drastic change in that light. Now, to actually show the true versatility of this kit, we need to take off the shoot through part of it and replace it with the silver part of the umbrella to get a very high reflectancy in the return of the light. So you can see when we put the silver surface back onto the umbrella, we're going to get a very high reflectancy of light, and that's what is going to increase the amount of return and also the sharpness of that same light. So let's put it back into the exact same position once more. Quick test. Look great. Straight at me again. That's lovely. Let's have a little look at that. It's very good. And again for me. Keep it. Excellent. Lean the head away a touch. Can you just actually lean away from it fully and just actually put the arm just actually onto it? Pop the other hand on the hip. Turn the head round to me all the time, please. Just do it there. Keep it. Let's have a little look. Looks great. And again for me. Excellent. That's it. Let's do it. Lower the chin for me, darling, a little bit. Turn the head, please. So let's move in up then. Rachel, if you just come into here, right on the edge. If you stay there, literally legs apart and just actually to the side. You're going to go to that side, please. Just get really low. Weight on both feet, legs apart a little bit. Just drop the hands, lowering the chin. Lower the chin more. Yeah, let's do those. Okay, let's do it. It's great, Rach. And again, darling. Lower the chin. Serious. Lean the head onto that side a little bit. Lower the chin though as you do it. Keep it. Looking off towards Paul for me. Excellent, relax. So what have we done there? We've gone completely different now. We've got rid of the umbrellas and we're using the Tri-Flash exactly as it was really meant to be used, as far as I'm concerned, to give us large amounts of flash to try and compete with very sunny kind of areas like skies and everything else, kind of, to try and bring the mood of the image down. And even though I'm running here, I'm running on half power still, and I'm still getting f22 when we've joined all those flashes together. Of course, when the sun's beginning to set and the background is already dark, we can then work with minimal amount of flash again. But in this instance, we've got the sun drenching through here, and we're trying to compete with it with flashes. So the only way to do that is either to balance with it, to give it perhaps the same exposure, or to overpower it like we are doing. And we're on 125th at f22 to make the background 2 stops less than it physically is for the correct exposure on that. Very powerful images, very powerful look, and all with the Tri-Flash bracket. Make sure you're getting the face and the feet. Straight at me again. Excellent. Turn the head to me more. Excellent. And again. Keep it more power. Excellent. Lower pull. Straight at me. Lower the chin. Some great shots there. What we've been doing, we've cheated a little bit as far as the Tri-Flash, even though it's designed for the 3 flashes. This is one of the reasons that I use it so much. It allows me to use 2 Pocket Wizards or other kind of remotes on there that are flash hot shoe based. And all I'm doing is having control, and control as a photographer is where the creativity starts. And these kind of tips and tricks that we're showing to you are trying to actually bring out the kind of creative side of you as much as anything else. So what were we doing? Well, I was looking to bring some drama to the scene. And what I didn't want to have happen was the stadium itself to dominate. That was going to be my silhouette. I was using the light onto the white the building behind as the kind of the basic of the exposure. And then I wanted that to go deeper than it physically is by the ambient light. And so all I've done is, with the 2 flashes here, the both 580EX is both linked into radio triggers, which happen to be Pocket Wizards for now, and they're designed to actually fire, but they're each doing their own job. In fact, the one light, this one here, its zoom mode was on 105, just to concentrate the amount of flash into the model's top part of the body and the face, whereas the bottom flash here was on a wider zoom and pointed down towards the ground to give us more information on actually what we're going for. And we're working in the city, in a real and raw environment, and we've got to make sure that we're in and out as quick as we can. Not only are we parked illegally, but we've got to get the shot done. So that's a quick way to use it. But we've used the Lastolite extension pole here. Why? Because we don't need it to be fixed as far as a stand is concerned. And even though we've still got the option to use the tilt head, we don't need that option for now, because Paul's got the pole and he's putting it in the position that I'm asking him to put it in. And what I'm trying to achieve is impact. Impact is the key point when I use flash. Am I trying to create just a softness to the light? Am I trying to compete against the natural the sunlight? Or in this case, am I trying to create an image that just isn't there? Because you can see the ambient shot isn't anything special at all. We make it with light. And that's why the likes of the accessories of the Tri-Flash are just brilliant. So I'm Mark Cleghorn for the Lastolite School of Photography. I hope you've enjoyed this piece. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.